Welcome to Emma's English. Welcome back to Emma's English Talk, your daily channel for mastering real-world English. I'm your host, Emma. Today we're going to watch and listen to a conversation about mastering the art of packing. First, just sit back, relax, and try to catch as much as you can. Don't worry if you miss a few words. We will break down the key vocabulary in our word tour later in the video. Ready? Let's dive into the dialogue. Did you know that the average traveler only uses about 60% of what they pack for a trip? That means almost half of what we cram into our suitcases just sits there, untouched. Today, we're diving into the art of packing, how to do it smarter, lighter, and with way less stress.
That's such a wild statistic. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. How many times have you packed for a trip and brought along that just-in-case outfit that never even leaves a suitcase?
Oh, all the time. I think we've all been guilty of packing for imaginary scenarios. But the thing is, overpacking doesn't just waste space. It can actually make your trip more stressful. You're lugging around extra weight, struggling to find things, and let's not even talk about the nightmare of overweight baggage fees.
Right? And it's not just about the physical hassle. There's also this mental clutter that comes with having too much stuff. So, where do we even start? What's the first step to mastering the art of packing?
It all starts with a packing list. I know it sounds basic, but a good list is like your roadmap. It keeps you focused, prevents you from overpacking, and ensures you don't forget the essentials. But here's the key. Your list needs to be specific.
That makes so much sense. Instead of just writing clothes, you break it down. 3 pairs of pants, 5 shirts, 2 pairs of shoes. That way, you're not just throwing random items into your bag and hoping for the best.
Exactly. And you know what else helps? Thinking about your trip in terms of outfits rather than individual items. Like, plan out what you'll wear each day based on your itinerary. It's a game changer.
That's such a smart approach. But let's talk about the tricky stuff, like formal wear. If you're packing a suit or a dress, how do you make sure it doesn't end up a wrinkled mess?
Oh, formal wear can be a real challenge. If you have the option, a garment bag is your best friend. But if you're trying to pack light and fit everything into one suitcase, there's a technique called the shoulder fold that works wonders.
The shoulder fold? I've never heard of that. How does it work?
It's actually pretty simple. You turn one shoulder of the jacket inside out and tuck the other shoulder into it. Then you fold the jacket in half lengthwise. It creates this compact bundle that helps prevent creases. And here's a bonus tip. Stuff the inside of the jacket with rolled-up t-shirts or socks to help it keep its shape.
That's genius. And speaking of shoes, they're always one of the bulkiest things to pack. How do you deal with that?
Shoes are tricky, but there are a few hacks that can make a big difference. First, always pack them in individual cloth bags to protect your clothes. And second, use the space inside your shoes. Stuff them with socks, underwear, or even small accessories. It's a great way to save space and keep everything organized.
I love that. It's like turning your shoes into little storage compartments. But what about casual clothes? You know, the stuff you wear day to day when you're out exploring.
For casual wear, versatility is key. You want pieces that you can mix and match, and that work for different activities and weather conditions. Layers are especially important, especially if you're traveling somewhere with unpredictable weather.
That's such a good point. Like, if you're going to a place like Australia, the weather can change so quickly. You might start the day in a jacket, but by noon, you're down to a t-shirt.
Exactly. And comfort is just as important as versatility. If you're going to be walking around all day, you need clothes and shoes that you can wear for hours without feeling miserable.
Speaking of walking, one of my favorite things about exploring a new city is stumbling upon those hidden gems, like a little cafe or a quirky boutique you didn't expect to find.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're in a place like Melbourne, for example, you've got to check out the coffee scene. It's world famous, and for good reason. A proper flat white from a Melbourne barista is an experience in itself.
I can't wait to try it, and you know what? I think coffee beans make such a great souvenir. They're small, lightweight, and they're a little piece of the local culture you can bring back home.
Totally. Just make sure to leave some extra room in your suitcase for souvenirs. That's where packing cubes come in handy. They help you stay organized and maximize your space.
I've heard so many good things about packing cubes, but I've never actually used them. Are they really as life changing as people say?
Oh, absolutely. They keep everything neat and compartmentalized so you're not digging through a chaotic pile of clothes every time you need something. Plus, they can compress your clothes a little, which saves space.
That sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to pick some up before my next trip. And speaking of packing strategies, I've heard you should always put your heaviest items, like shoes and toiletries, at the bottom of your suitcase near the wheels. Is that true?
It is. It helps keep the center of gravity low, which makes your suitcase more stable and easier to roll. It's one of those small details that can make a big difference, especially when you're navigating a crowded airport.
Speaking of airports, what's your rule of thumb for how early to arrive before an international flight? I always feel like I'm either way too early or cutting it way too close.
For international flights, I always aim to get there at least 3 hours before departure. It might seem like overkill, but it gives you plenty of time to check in, go through security, and relax before your flight.
And if you have lounge access, those extra hours can actually be pretty enjoyable. It's a nice little oasis in the middle of all the travel chaos.
Exactly. You can grab a bite to eat, review your travel plans, and just unwind before a long flight. It's a much better way to start your journey than rushing through the airport in a panic.
So true. And one last thing. Do you think it's better to keep all your travel documents digital or should you print out physical copies as well?
Both. Digital copies are super convenient, but having physical backups is a lifesaver if your phone dies or you lose internet access. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
That's such good advice. I think with all these tips, I'm finally starting to feel like I've got this packing thing under control. It's amazing how much easier it gets when you have a plan and a few good tricks up your sleeve.
That's the spirit. Packing doesn't have to be stressful. It can actually be the first step in your adventure. Just take your time, stay organized, and enjoy the process.
You're absolutely right. And with that, I think it's time for me to go finish packing. Thanks for all the great tips today. I'm sure our listeners found them just as helpful as I did.
Anytime. Safe travels and enjoy your trip. Now it's time for our word tour. Let's review some key vocabulary from today's conversation. The first word is comprehensive. It means complete and including everything that is necessary. For example, before traveling, it is smart to make a comprehensive packing list. Another example is, the manager gave a comprehensive report on the project. Next up, we have formal wear. This refers to clothing suitable for special, elegant events like suits or evening gowns. For example, the invitation stated that formal wear was required for the dinner party. Another example is, he rented expensive formal wear for his sister's wedding. Our third word is versatile. It means able to be used in many different ways or for many different purposes. For example, a plain white shirt is a very versatile piece of clothing. Another example is, my new smartphone is incredibly versatile for both work and entertainment. Moving on, let's look at the word barista. It means a person whose job is to prepare and serve espresso-based coffee drinks. For example, the barista at my local cafe makes the best flat white in the city. Another example is, she worked as a barista while studying at the university. The fifth term is carry-on bag. It means a small piece of luggage that you are allowed to take onto an airplane with you. For example, I always keep my passport and laptop in my carry-on bag. Another example is the airline has strict size limits for your carry-on bag. Finally, we have the phrase worst-case scenario. It means the most unpleasant or severe situation that could possibly happen. For example, in the worst-case scenario, our flight gets canceled and we have to stay in a hotel overnight. Another example is, you should always have a backup plan prepared for the worst-case scenario. That's all for today's word tour. I hope you found it helpful. Great job today. Listening to natural English like this is the best way to improve your skills. Remember, you can download the free PDF script for today's episode from the link in the description below. It's perfect for reviewing the dialogue and practicing the vocabulary we learned. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and keep up the great work. See you next time.